E.N.D here, day 4 for the spoilers of Strixhaven. Now that all the 63 Mystical Archive cards have been spoiled, it's the turn of the main set. Let's start. Ageless Guardian, 1 and 1 white, it's a 1/4 vanilla white creature. Beaming Defiance, 1 and 1 white, instant, target creature control gets +2/+2 and hexproof until end of turn. Stonebound Mentor, 1 red and 1 white, it's a 3/3. Whenever one or more cards leave your graveyard, scry 1. Lorehold Pledge Mage, 1 and 2 hybrid mana between red and white, it's a 2/2, first strike, and has Magecraft. It gets +1/+0 until end of turn. If you don't know how to play Magecraft, I did a tutorial video explaining how this particular mechanic works. Lorehold Campus, I believe there will be this particular cycle of common lands, and this battlefield tapped at 1 red or 1 white, and 4 tap, you scry 1. Heated Debate, 2 and 1 red, can't be countered, it deals 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Spirit Summoning, 1 and 2 hybrid mana between red and white, you create a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token. This is a lesson. You can tutor for these lesson cards only with learn cards. If you don't know how to play learn, I did a tutorial explaining how that particular mechanic works. Dwelling Coach, 3 and 1 white, it's a 2/2, enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. 4 and 1 white, you tap, you put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter. Tendris Orator, 1 and 1 white, it's a 2/2 vigilance. Whenever it attacks, it gains flying until end of turn if you control a creature with flying. The same is true for First Strike, Double Strike, Death Touch, Indestructible, Lifelink, Menace, and Trample. Go Blank, 2 and 1 black, it's a sorcery. Target player discards 2 cards, then exile all cards from that player's graveyard. Future Potential Potion, for 1 green, it's an instant, you gain 2 life, target creature gets +X until end of turn, where X is the amount of life you gained this turn. Rip Apart, 1 red and 1 white, it's a sorcery, choose 1, it deals 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Reconstruct History, 2 1 red and 1 white, return up to 1 target artifact card, up to 1 target enchantment card, up to 1 target instant card, up to 1 target sorcery card, up to 1 target planeswalker card from your graveyard to your hand, exile it. Returned Past Caller, 3 1 red, 1 hybrid mana between red and 1 white, it's a 4/2, it is a Spirit Cleric, flying, enters the battlefield, return target spirit, instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. Lorehold Excavation, 1 red and 1 white, it's an enchantment. At the beginning of your end step, mill a card. If a land card was milled this way, you gain 1 life, otherwise it deals 1 damage to each opponent. 5. Exile a creature card from your graveyard, create a tapped 3/2 red white spirit creature token. Quintorius Field Historian, 3 1 red and 1 white, it's a 2/4. Spirits you control get +1/+0. Whenever 1 or more cards leave your graveyard, create a 3/2 red and white spirit creature token. Rare cards, Strict Proctor, 1 and 1 white, it's a 1/3 flying. Whenever a permanent enters the battlefield, costs a triggered ability to trigger, counter that ability unless its controller pays 2. Semester's End, 3 and 1 white, it's an instant, exile a number of target creatures or planeswalkers you control at the beginning of your next end step, return each of them to the battlefield under its owner's control. Each of them enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it if it's a creature. If it's a planeswalker, it gets an additional loyalty counter. Academic Probation, 1 and 1 white, it's a sorcery, it's a lesson, choose 1, choose a non-land card name, opponent can cast spells with the chosen name until your next turn. Or choose target non-land permanent until your next turn, it can't attack or block and its activated ability can't be activated. Illuminate History, 2 and 2 red, also a sorcery, also a lesson, discard any number of cards, then draw that many cards. If there are 7 or more cards, create a 3/2 red white spirit creature token. Radiant Skullwilder, 2 1 red and 1 white, it's a 2/4, instants and sorcery spells you control have lifelink. Therefore, if you play, for example, a Shock, you will get 2 life. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile an instant or sorcery card at random from your graveyard. You may cast it this turn. If it cast it, exile it. Venerable Wansing, 1 1 red and 1 white, it's a 3/3, vigilance and trample. When it deals combat damage to a player, you may return target creature card with value X or less from your graveyard, where X is the amount of damage that Venerable Wansing dealt to that player. Bade Historian, 4 hybrid mana between red and white, it's a 2/3, attacking creatures you control have double strike. It's a very interesting card. A Freed Flame Painter, 3 1 red, it's a 1/4, it's a shaman, double strike. When this combat damage to a player, you may cast target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell is casted that way, exile it. Mythic cards. VELOMACHUS LOREHOLD, one of those elder dragon, founder of the Lorehold College. 5, 1 red and 1 white. It's a 5/5 flying, vigilance and haste. Whenever it attacks, look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value less than or equal to its power from among them without paying its mana cost. A very interesting legendary creature in my opinion. These elder dragons, I think these elder dragons will see a lot and a lot of play, especially in Commander. Hofri Ghostforge, 3, 1 red and 1 white. It's a 4/5 legendary creature, dwarf cleric. Spirits you control get +1/+1 and have trample and haste. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, exile it. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature except it's a spirit in addition to its other types and has. When this creature leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to your graveyard. For a 5 mana, I think this is a very strong commander card, especially if you want to build a commander deck revolving around spirits and this particular commander. Let me end this video with this card, Elite Spellbinder, 2 and 1 white. It's a 3/1 flying, enters the battlefield, look at target's opponent hand. You may exile an online card from it. As long as that card remains exiled, its owner may play it but costs 2 more mana to cast it. If you think this card looks familiar, yes it is. He's Paolo Vitor Damo da Rosa, winner of World Championship number 26. And as you may know, every winner of the World Championship may have the opportunity to design a card and have their face featured in the artwork. I think it's a cool price in my opinion. Tune in tomorrow for more and more spoilers of Strixhaven, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more and more interesting videos about Magic the Gathering and the collectible world.